Oh, no, it's nice. When I was in Dallas and even coming here, I was very regular. I remember how this whole thing started. I was, in fact, part of their original team.
Yeah,
But
okay.
over the time, I moved on. I have a lot of other services to do. So it was started by few devotees, three devotees.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, in Dallas. It was happening in San Antonio. We
mm,
were staying in the, bunker bed, like
okay,
three-story bed. That's how it started. 200 people will come. Now thousands of the people come. So
right, yep. So,
now it is one of the biggest thing in America.
right, yeah. So last
Eh,
few couple of years we are going, so yeah, that's wonderful. So a lot of pure souls we can get opportunity to.
Oh, it's powerful, Prabhu. Kumbh Mela.
Yes, a Kumbh Mela, yes. It is a big Kumbh. It's Mahakumbh, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Om
yeah.
Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuru Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatadam Bande Sri Gurum Dintaranam Paramananda Madhvam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishnaprasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pucharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तविंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे राम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय First and foremost, I'm sorry that I had to change the time, but I think maybe I'll work with Bimla Devi Dasi Mataji and work on a time that will work with most of you. Because Saturday is very hectic for me. I got up at 3:30, came here, then I had DT service from morning, all the morning service. I just got out of it. Then I have other services related to Govinda. We have started Govinda here, so we have few guests coming. I have to be there with them, and then after that, kids are doing Rath Yatra. If I get time, I'll go there. Then after that, in the evening, I'll go Harinam. So like that, things are very much one after another lined up. In one sense, it's good, but it's also very difficult. And I want to tell you one miracle, okay? Before I get into the class, it's a real thing, okay? So I have leg pain. So last night I was here until like 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. And then I had prasadam and everything else here. So I went home. I got up 3:30, then came here and I was doing service. And in the morning, my leg was so much hurting. It was so much hurting that I was not able to move around. So I went in front of the DT and I prayed that Krishna Balram, like that. Krishna Balram, if you keep me like that, how can I serve? I want to serve you. Prabhu, my leg pain right away vanished. And I was able to walk, do all things around, keep on walking, 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 walking. Lot of walking, nothing. I'm so good. I hope my leg always stays like that.
Sri Krishna Balaram.
Because
Jai.
that is the Shakti of the
Balaram ki
Bhakti.
jai.
Krishna Balaram is there, Srila Prabhupada is there. I had a frozen arm and I would come with towels like that. I would basically have I need to tell you some of this story like this, like that. And devotee will tell me that if you keep like that, then your arm is never going to get better. So, but I would come and then kirtan will happen. Nobody is there to play mridanga. So I said same thing. As Sri Krishna Balaram Bhagwan, I wanna serve you. I wanna play mridanga for you. Can you please help me so that I can get rid of this thing? I went home and my wife had found something Ayurvedic. She said that if you do like that, you do like that, your hand will become better. I started doing in 5 days, hand was gone. Completely free. I started playing Mridanga. So these are some
Great.
of the, real life example, I'm telling you to let you know that bhakti has a lot of shakti. Krishna personally helps. If you are dedicated, he will help you. Sometimes, my wife will tell that I should take rest, I should do this, I should do that. Then I told her that, there are so many people who have very good health, extremely good. Nothing is happening, but death comes. Heart attack will happen. They are driving, car accident will happen. They are flying, flight will have accident. Things will happen. And even good body, good health is vanquished, done, over. Or sometimes you are limping, you can't hear, you can't see. But if Krishna wants you to continue, you can continue. So there is a saying that if Krishna wants to kill you, who will save you? If Krishna wants to save you, who will kill you? So it's very, very important that we engage in devotional service. Okay. You have thousands of excuses for this, for that, and that. That is all here intelligence. But at the end of the day, soul is very happy when we serve Krishna. And we are serving Krishna, then all the protection will come. And that's one of the theme that we are going to talk today. So this chapter 4, transcendental knowledge, which is very much Gyan Yoga. In this chapter, Krishna has spoken about Gyan, knowledge about him. And while he is giving the knowledge about him, he mentioned the cause of his appearance. And then he starts talking about what is the real knowledge. So, chapter 4 and chapter 5. Chapter 5 is mostly talking about some part of chapter 4 is Niskam Karma Yoga in the beginning stage. Chapter 5 is very much talking about the higher stage of Niskam Karma Yoga, Krishna consciousness in practice. And then after that, chapter 6 is uh, talking about Dhyana Yoga. So, this chapter, Krishna talks about himself. He's giving the knowledge. Before he gives the knowledge, first he gives the knowledge of him coming. And what is the purpose of him coming? He already has spoken. He said that Swakalena Mahata Yogo Nasta Prantapo. At due course of time, this knowledge that I was giving or I had established has lost. Since the knowledge is lost, now I'm coming here to establish it once again. So that's one of the reason already Krishna has given. Why Krishna comes? One of the reason already given here that he comes to establish the disciplic succession. So this disciplic succession that we have, all the acharyas that we have, they're coming from Krishna directly. Krishna comes to give the disciplic succession. That's why when Mahaprabhu came, he said, Amar agya hoye, this is my order, that all of you become guru. So all of you who are part of this program, you all have a order from Lord Himself as Mahaprabhu that you become guru. So we have to basically become one day guru and help the mankind. Okay. So I was talking about this verse number 6, and I said that this is extremely powerful verse. Krishna says, Ajo api san avyatma bhutanam isharo api san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Ajo api san avyatma. Aware. Aware. So there is striling, there is pulling, and then there is aware. So in Sanskrit, there are some word that does not have ek bachan, dvivachan, or bahuvachan, we say it. Like single form, double form, or multiple forms. It's not like that. Like aham, amam, oyam. We say that, aham is I, awam is two, oyam is three, more than three people or three people. So like that. So there are some certain words in the Sanskrit that does not have linga or singular or plural form. Like for example, pani, water, water, jala. Have you heard jala, jale, jalam? Nothing. Jal is jal. Okay. So like that, there are certain words, that is always in their original form. So Krishna says, "Ajo api san avayatma." Although I do not take birth. So avayatma here means something that doesn't change, but we change, right? Janm mritu jara vyadhi. We have taken birth. Now we are whatever stage we are in, and we'll even go down, then die. With death. Krishna says, Ajo api san avayatma. Avayatma means something that doesn't change. So, although I am unchangeable, and here Prabhupada translate, although I am unborn, and Bhutanam Ishwaro api san, and I am the controller and the master of all the living entity. Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya Shambhavami Atmayaya. So all the living entities, you and I, are subjected to this Prakriti. We are subject of Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. We are subject to nature. So nature is acting on it. Nature is acting on us. We all are under nature. Nature is working on us. But he says, but he is beyond this nature. Atma Mayaya. By his will, by his desire. Sambhavami. Sambhavami means something that seems to be happening. Okay. So Krishna is coming by his own accordance, by his own desire, by his own will, not by the will of Maya, or not by that he is forced by some Prakriti that we must have to take birth. But living entities are forced. So here we have one slide that gives us some difference between appearance of Lord Krishna versus birth of the living entity. Can somebody read it like one by one?
So,
So Lord Krishna has like that.
yeah, Lord Krishna has transcendental body, his own choice, no force. No,
Prabhuji, so transcendental body and then other side so that we can see the difference.
Lord Krishna has transcendental body. Living entities body has perishable body.
Yeah. So this is the difference. Like Lord has transcendental body and our body is perishable. We are perishing. Okay.
Lord Krishna body has his own choice, no force. Whereas our body, I mean, we have no choice and we are forced to come.
Yes.
Um, no, Krishna body does not cause of karma and
Yeah.
our due to karma.
Yeah. So we can go to the lower planetary system, or we can take the lower form of the body also. Not
Yeah.
granted that will be always human being. So our birth is based on karma. Hmm. If you do good karma, then you will be at least human being. If you do bad karma, then you might have to take birth as lower living entity. Okay. But
Krishna,
Krishna is free from karma. Okay, Prabhu, continue.
Krishna has no subtle body, whereas we have subtle body. And
So what is subtle body? What is our subtle body?
The three elements, right? For
Yeah,
mind,
yeah,
intelligence, false ego.
yes. So Krishna body, mind, intelligence, everything is one. Okay, it's not different. But we have gross body and we have subtle body. Yes.
Lord, He comes with His knowledge. We, living entity, come in forgetfulness.
Yeah. So Krishna, whenever he comes with full knowledge, and he doesn't. Even if he's baby, it's not like that. He has forgotten everything. He is still Krishna. That's how he'll just smash with his feet, and he will kill the demon. So he is always in full knowledge. He doesn't have to go to school. He knows all the Vedic teaching. Okay.
Lord Krishna has no bondage, whereas we, living entity, body creates bondage, bodily relation. Does mean Prabhuji here? Bodily
Yeah.
relation.
Yeah. Living entities bodies creates bondage. So our body creates bondage. Means how body creates bondage because you have now relationship.
Right, yeah,
So
bodily
we'll
relation.
yeah. So you will do some uh, lower activity based on this body. Like for example, I have to work hard because I have to take care of my family, right? So this body is, so family that is coming out of this body, sons and daughter, is forcing us to uh, engage into menial activity. So that's basically that's due to body. Body is causing it. So our body is cause of bondage.
Yeah.
Cause creates forgetfulness, creates confusion, creates illusion. It make us feel one of the biggest problem with the body is that it thinks that it's me, it's my body. That itself is a bondage. It forces living entity to go away from Krishna. Yeah.
Yeah. Lord simultaneously he can reveal all forms by Yog Maya, but he reveals only the form he wants to devotees. I think that's what I'm understanding. Whereas we only one form out of 8.6 million species.
Yeah. So Krishna sometimes appears that he is also limited, like you and I are. But that's not true. Like for example, I have this body, I cannot expand, right? Can I expand? Can I have multiple Ramacharya Das like me? Clone that call it, right? Or expansion. Can I have clones of my mind? No. But Krishna can come as Varahadev, as Matsya Dev, as Narsimha Dev, as Vaman Dev. He can come and he can decide what features he has to exhibit in that particular form. It's Lord decision. It's not that the Lord is force. It's not like that. That if Hiranyakashipu will say that I don't want to get killed into the day, I don't want to get killed into the night, I don't want to do like this, I don't want to be killed like that, then Krishna is out of option. Okay, Krishna is never out of option because every living entity is his creation. So he can always come up with something, some different form, some options. So Lord decides how he would like to appear. Nobody is forcing him. It's not that somebody is making his body, saying that your ears should be like that, your nose should be like that. No, it's all Krishna's decision. Okay.
His forms are eternal.
Yeah.
Our soul is eternal, but body is perishable.
Hmm. So we are not eternal. Okay. We are not eternal. Our body is perishable. But Lord Krishna, his forms are eternal. Okay.
Lord Yoga Maya
So
potencies.
Krishna does all of his pastime by his yoga maya potency. He's not, although say that manustana asritaha. When Krishna takes birth as human being, Mudha, Krishna says, fool think that I am one of them. But in reality, I am never one of them. Why? Because I am always with my Yog Maya potencies. And Krishna is always with his Chit Shakti. That's Yog Maya is internal potency. And Mahamaya is Bahya potency. And living entities are put into Bahya potency, external potency, Bahya Shakti. Krishna is always with his Yog Maya potency. So Yog Maya potency is also Krishna's Chit Shakti. Sat Chit Ananda, right?
Yeah.
Shat is uh, Samvit Shakti, Sandhani Shakti, sorry, Sandhani Shakti. Sandhani Shakti is Sat feature, which is Lord Balram. And Samvit is Chit Shakti, knowledge potency, and that is Yog Maya. And Haladni, Anand potency, all the pleasure, happiness, source of all the happiness is Srimati Radharani. Haladni Shakti. So these are three internal potencies of Krishna. Samvit, Sandhani, Haladni. We'll talk about that in Nectar of Devotion. So Krishna always is with his Antarang Shakti. Even Krishna comes to this material world, he has nothing to do with. It's not like that, this a Prakriti will make him old and force him that now you are 16 years, you become 18 years old, you become no 16 years. That's his desire. He likes to be always young, up to 60 years, 16 years. That's all. No 17 years, 16 years. That's all. Krishna is always ever fresh. So you can see some of these differences. Okay. So human beings should not think that when Krishna takes birth, he is like one of us. Okay. And these are some of these explanations in reference to verse number 6. Anything anybody has before we move to the next verse? Is it clear?
So one question, Prabhuji. So Sachidananda, right? So Anand is an internal potency, Srimati Radharani Haladni
All
Sakti.
three is internal potency. Sat Chit Anand, all three.
Got it. That's what my question.
Yeah. Sat Chit Anand is the internal potency of Krishna. And living entity is also Sat Chit Ananda. So living entity has some knowledge. Do you have or not some knowledge, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, little.
Everybody has some knowledge. And everybody has some lifespan. 100 years, 50 years, 20 years. Sat Shakti. And everybody has some happiness. So we feel Sat Chit Anand in a very minute quantity. So Atma is Sat Chit Anand. So Anu, Atma is Anu, and Vibhu is Bhagwan. So he has all the Sat, all the Chit, all the Anand. Yes, Uday Prabhuji, what do you have?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, so I have this question on soul. I'm thinking hard how to even ask this question. So I'm a little confused on the question itself. So, when we say soul is eternal, how can, of course, without soul, the body is not a living body anymore, right?
Yeah,
So that means we know if I'm talking, that means the soul is present.
yeah, you're right, Prabhu.
But how to really understand, or can I even communicate with my soul? How do I know that the soul is trying to communicate with me? Is that called the sixth sense that we usually talk about? If I'm doing something, some my consciousness is guiding me that no, don't do it, or you're trying to be, too egoistic or too proud or something. So calm down, right? So how to interpret the messages that are coming from soul versus mind and intelligence?
Wow, you are ahead.
I don't know.
Yes, no, that's good. That's good. So I have to answer in a way that it's easy for you to understand. So first thing is that soul does talk to us. Soul has to be realized. That's why Prabhupada said, we are not this body, we are soul. But the reality is that we are not aware that we are the soul and we haven't realized. Have you heard that they say that this is a very realized person? Have you heard this term?
Yes, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the meaning of the realized person, What realization he has? That he is soul and there is Bhagwan.
The conscious.
Realization, yeah, realization is only of these two things. That there is Atma and there is Paramatma. But does soul talk to us now? No, maybe no, depending on where we are in our Krishna consciousness. In impure state, and that's called conditioning. Conditioning is that body is overruling, body is very much captured the presence of sense and soul and super soul. So when body is dominant over the presence of soul and super soul, then then that's the forgetfulness. That's the conditioning. That's the you know bondage that living entities have. But through the process of bhakti, when we hear more, when we chant more, slowly and slowly we realize our regain, our lost stage. And that is basically understanding that we are Atma and and there is Bhagwan. So the more we are in the process of devotional service, the more we purify, the more this conditioning and the bondage that we have is getting rid, the better you be connecting with your soul and super soul. Do you understand what I said, Prabhu? Was it clear?
Yes, probably. Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So we have to engage, in the very, that's what I call conditioning, living entities. If you ask somebody, they'll, give their material name, material identity, material designations, everything. They don't think that I am the Atma. But what we are doing right now, the process of bhakti, basically is going to help us understand Bhagwan. And they say that tamso ma jyotirgamya. The way it works is that you are able to see yourself,
Yeah.
but if you turn off the light, you can, even if you have eyes, you cannot see yourself, right?
Mm.
Go into the dark room, you cannot see yourself. But you can see yourself because there is light. So when we try to know Bhagwan, we know ourselves also. In that process, in search of knowing Krishna, in that path, the knowledge of one's comes. Because Krishna, when we try to understand Krishna, Krishna help us understand who we are. And as we know who we are, the better we can talk, the better we can connect. Like sometimes people will say that I don't want to go. My mind is saying that I should not go. Something, they will say, suddenly, I feel like that if I go, there will be some accident. Sometimes you will hear people, right? Some of the people who are very awakened, they say things like that because they can connect more, they can see more. So yes, in conditioned state, no. But as we get more purified, we know Lord. And the process of knowing oneself is first we know Krishna. If we know Krishna as a source, then we know ourselves as a soul. That's one thing. So please always remember that part. The third part, or second part, is that every living entity has some order. like certain things that you like doing and you not like doing. It comes from three places. Note that carefully. Any action that we do, propensity or desire to act comes from three places. First one, senses. The first comes from senses. So if living entities are in a very bound state, it will come from sense. So sense will say, go to this place and have wine and meat. So tasty, and wine is so good. Without knowing anything, you'll go there. That means you are very much ruled by your senses. Senses are ruling on you. You'll go nightclub. What is the point of going to the nightclub? Nothing. What stays with you? You'll go to the places where you can have wine and vodka, this and that. It's all sense driven. Going to the meat house, you know, taking bribe, because that money will have more sense gratification. So first, if you are in a very gross state, most of your intelligence is governed by your senses. That's number one. And when senses are governing, it will engage us in very menial activity, inspire you to do the rape. What is there, man? You're done. Police catches you, put into the jail, whole life gone. So this is all coming from senses. Higher than that comes from buddhi, intelligence. So for example, you would say that it might be very good if I jump from 50 story. Okay, might be I want to feel how it how it how it basically feels like when I'm jumping from 50 story. You go to the 50 story, but your intelligence says that don't jump. If you jump, it will feel good, but you are done. Your story is over. You'll be finished. So now there is some understanding of reaction, some understanding of the result. That if I do it, it's going to be very bad for me. I should not do it. So intelligence will say, don't do it. You would not do it. Okay. The third one comes from soul, Atma. When soul gives you order, it will tell you go to temple, or try to be nice devotee, or associate with devotee, do Bhakti Shastri Bhakti Vaibhava course, know more about Krishna, do deity worship, do kirtans, play harmonium, play mirdanga, go for Harinam. It will engage you into devotional service. Although it might be in a forgetful state, not very clear, but it will inspire you on the right path. Okay, that is coming from the soul. So Shastra says that one should always hear whenever some instruction is coming, like you are in the night, you are sleeping, and then suddenly you feel like that you should go and smoke. You are chain smoker. I should go and smoke. Now it's middle night, nobody is sleeping, nobody is watching. Then you basically think, what should I do? Oh, this is my sense. Senses are telling me that I should go and smoke. I'm not gonna go, right? So senses should be, if the instruction is coming from the senses, living entities should not listen. If it's coming from the intelligence, should not listen. Always listen when it's coming from soul. Higher than that is also when it comes from Paramatma. But when soul is instructing you, most likely it's coming from Paramatma also. So that's how it is. Soul does talk to you. Soul does talk to you, living entity. But that talking is depending on how much purification we have in the process. If we are more purified, then soul is more talking. That's why you will see that somebody will tell you, Uday Prabhu, I don't understand. You get up in the morning, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam class, daytime you are doing something related to Krishna, in the evening related to Krishna, you are chanting, you are doing bhajan, you are doing this, why you are doing that? It will not make sense to them, because you are much, much advanced. You are much, much ahead. You are hearing, your instruction is coming from soul, but theirs is coming from senses. They'll say, no, no, it's too much. Go enjoy with your family. Take care of your family. Have fun with the family. One night, you should have some time with your family. But he said, no, 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 I have some time. I need to read or memorize one verses. See the difference, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
So that's how it is. So we should listen the instruction that's coming from the Atma, from soul.
Okay. So any instruction,
Don't follow the instruction from the senses. But
mm,
in the beginning, in the gross stage, is sense will be instructing you. Senses will be telling you. After sense, intelligence. When you are in the association of devotee, hating devotee,
yep,
torturing devotee, talking bad about devotee. I'll be better than him. What he is doing, fighting for name, fame, power. I want to put him down. I'm better than him. Trying, not trusting, not. This is all intelligence thing, mind thing.
mm,
Okay, but when you will come to Atma level, then he'll say, Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandot Pranam. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavita vajagadis kame. Bhakti, you will connect on the stage of Atma. So that's what it is. So in the beginning, it might be very weak, but slowly and slowly, as we engage in the process of bhakti, we'll hear more from our soul. Okay, Prabhu, but good ask. Good ask.
I think this is a very clear explanation, Prabhu. Just to summarize my understanding, any instruction uh, um, kind of related to our sense gratification, our temporary pleasure, happiness, it's all coming from senses.
Yeah, you should try to.
Anything, anything related to the devotional service, for the pleasure of Krishna, those instructions are coming from the soul. Is that the right,
Bhagwan.
is that right
Yeah,
understanding? Okay.
yeah. Higher instructions comes from soul. Yeah.
Haribol.
Soul will engage you in higher activity. Yes. Mind will keep you in the middle.
Mm,
Sometimes I have to do, sometimes I don't have to do. Body is not good, health is not good, these are not good. But Six Goswami, Six Goswami, how they can live, uh, in Brindavan, there was nothing. It's little high. Please forgive me to say this thing. Very high. I'm not saying that all of us should be Six Goswamis, but they were tuned with Paramatma. Their actions were very much coming from Paramatma, soul level. But we are right now not sense gratific, not acting on the senses, but our things are very much gone by mind. You know, once a week we go to temple, half an hour here and there, become, pretend that I have become a big devotee. It's fine. It's better than not going. But you should always try to stay close to Krishna. Always serve Krishna. Wherever you are, do some service to Krishna. Always engage in Krishna service, in Prabhupada service. So that is called degree of advancement. That doesn't come so early.
mm,
It will come by mercy of Krishna. When Krishna decides that okay, he wants to give you more taste, it will come. That means you are hearing more of your soul, Atma. But very good. This is very important point, by the way.
thank you,
And
Rohit.
we'll build on this one.
Prabhuji, can I connect to ignorance, passion, and goodness like a sense, intelligence, and the soul? Like the action perform, on the mode of ignorance, it's a mostly sense gratification.
Yeah,
Like
but also mode of passion also is a sense gratification in this context. Senses also will be, senses can act in all three things, Prabhu. So here is the thing. In the first way, sense will say that act for sense pleasure, meat eating. That's ignorance. Okay. Passion will say that go and do the puja of demigod. That's also coming from the senses. And goodness will say that go and do bhakti for name, fame, and power. It's all senses thing. So it can be, your sense can be in ignorance, it can be in the passion, it can be in goodness. But thank you, thank you. You are adding another layer of on that one. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes. So that's how it is. But when we are hearing the Paramatma or Bhagwan, then it's transcendental. So Traya Gunya Visaya Veda. Prabhu, ignorance, passion, and goodness is very low. When you are doing bhakti, you are way up here. Whatever bhakti we do beyond guns, go beyond modes of material nature. Bridget Mataji, Brinda Sundari Mataji, do you follow what we are talking about? Are you following? Hare Krishna, pure devotee. Hare Krishna. I'll have to unmute Mataji. I'm sure she is talking, but
Oh,
yeah.
the wrong button. Sorry. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat, Hare Krishna.
Dandavad. Yes, I follow, Prabhu.
Thank you. If you don't follow, then let me know. I can slow myself down.
It's okay. It's a good pace.
Thank you. Lakshmi, are you following the discussion? Lakshmi Mataji. Did you follow the question that Prabhu was asking, the answer that was given? Hare Krishna Prabhu, did you follow the discussion that's going on?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you summarize what was the discussion, that what he was asking and what I was trying to answer?
So, I mean, I don't know. 1 second. Let me think through. So again, this I mean, it's a taste between whether the senses is dominating or the soul is is connecting to with Krishna. So depending on that the actions that you take will have that effect of the senses versus the soul that's connecting or talking with the Krishna, based on at least what I understand, Prabhuji.
Udaya Prabhu, can you rephrase everything that we have discussed?
Yes, Prabhuji. So,
Please listen what he's saying. Yeah.
yeah. So the question was, how can a living entity recognize or identify the instructions, coming from our own sensors versus the soul? Or the question I was actually asking before I even know that this difference was, how can a living entity identify, how the soul is trying to communicate with our senses or kind of with our kind of intelligence or with us? I think Prabhuji very nicely has explained, the difference between, between the soul versus, and how it is connected to a kind of realization. So basically, kind of Prabhuji mentioned about kind of realization, is nothing but knowing about Atma and kind of Paramatma. And after that, Prabhu took us through the what is the conditioning means. So when we say the kind of living entity is conditioned, so what does it mean? It is our the kind of dominance of the body over the super soul, right? So that's the bondage that we're talking between the body and the and and the um, uh, uh, bondage with the body. And then the moment we identify that Krishna is the source, that kind of differentiates between the living entity, which is conditioned, versus living entity, which has the understanding of the Paramatma there. So a living entity which has the understanding that Krishna is the source, is considered kind of realized. And Prabhu nicely took through, from where the kind of the three places, um, where the kind of desires come from, right? So one is our own senses, The other one is the kind of intelligence, and the last one is the soul. So finally, Prabhuji concluded saying that any instructions that coming from our senses is 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 um, is for our own sense gratification or sense pleasures. But anything that is coming to any instructions can related to serving Krishna, acharyas, devotees. Those are the instructions coming from from the soul, and that's how we can easily we can understand the how the communication is
Yeah.
happening between the soul and the senses. Yeah. Yes,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. So please, when devotees are asking questions, everybody should listen the question, like Satya Prabhu is asking or anybody else is asking. We have to listen the question very carefully and then also understand the answer, because maybe this is not something that you are asking now, but later it might come to you. Because this one that Prabhu asked, can we talk to soul? This is a very nice question. This is a very technical question, and it comes at some point to all of us that where we are getting the order from. We get the multiple things in our mind. Okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that, and you give the preference. You choose. I have to do this versus I have to do that. Okay. So living entity based upon what you are choosing from, that's your real state. If we choose to follow the order of our senses, then we are sense gratifier. If we are choosing the order coming from the intelligence, that we are in the middle stage. But if we are hearing the instruction that's coming from our soul, then we are hearing higher instructions. So it's very important concept. It's not simple question. It's very good that we had that discussion. So Krishna, gives here the cause. What are the elements of his appearance? So first one, he says time. He says yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, very famous verse. Abhitanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamiham. He says that yada yada, whenever there is glanir bhavati dharmasya. Whenever glanir means going down. And here the word is used decline. When dharma is declines, Krishna comes. So now sometimes people say, you will see that people challenge. If Bhagwan is there, why this thing is happening? Bhagwan is there, why thing is happening? Krishna does say, I'll come and fix. And he comes. He came in Satyuga, he came in Dwapar Yuga, he came in Kali Yuga. He came in Treta Yuga, and he will come in Kali Yuga. Every Yuga he has been coming. Every Yuga he has been coming, and he comes. Okay. So first Krishna says that whenever there is decline of religion, and abhyudha, abhyut utha, utha naam adharmasya. Abhi utha means to go up, adharmasya. So dharma is declining and adharma is going up. He says at that time also I descend. Okay, so both declining of the religious principles and predominance of the adharma. These are the two reasons Krishna says in verse number 7 that he comes. And then he says, what is the purpose? The purpose is, he says, paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskritam. I come paritran to save. Paritran. Paritran means to save. To save whom? Sadhunam. Who are sadhu? Who are worshipping? Who are doing sadhana? Sadhana of whom? Krishna. So paritranaya sadhunam. He comes to save sadhu. And vinasaya cha duskritam. And he comes to vinasaya, to annihilate whom? Duskritim. It's such a clear definition. I think these two words makes everybody devotee. It's very simple verse. Most of the people from India, they know this verse and they walk on. They say that they know this verse and that's good enough. And they end up engaging in all types of things this should not be engaged in. But these two verse giving everything. Okay. Says that Paritana Sadhunam, you all have protection. But Krishna does say that we protect. And it does annihilate Who? Miscreants. And then the what we discussed in verse number 7, Dharma Sanstapnarthaya. Since the dharma has declined, he comes to re-establish. Our Acharya says that although Krishna gives this theory reason, this is very important. Please note this one. Remember that. Krishna says that I come to deliver the pious, to annihilate the miscreant, and to re-establish the principle of religion. Three things, Krishna says here. Acharya says, re-establishing the principle of religion is very easy. Krishna can do through his agency also. Okay. He has lot of Shakti. So for that part, Krishna doesn't have to come. And to annihilate the miscreant, not necessarily. To kill the demons, not necessarily Krishna has to come. Not necessarily. Krishna has much, much power, than Dantavakra and Dhenuka and all of those and Putana. This is immense power. Fraction of Krishna's power can kill these demons. So there is only one reason that Krishna personally comes. You know what is that personal reason that Krishna comes? The most prominent reason that Krishna comes?
Deliver the pious.
Paritranaya sadhuna. Yes. To deliver the pious. Deliver pious. Krishna personally comes and shows his darshan, his feature. Today we are studying the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:922. And when Bhispitama is about to depart, he is very happy because he knows Krishna. Okay. So Krishna has Karnodakshai form. Krishna has Garbhodakshai form. Krishna has Kshodakshai form. Krishna is Virata, Virat Purusha. But then Krishna also has this four-arm form. So he's saying that this person, he is biggest of the big and the smallest of the smaller. But I'm so fortunate that he is coming in a scale that I can perceive. Okay. So I can see all of you. And my understanding is up to that extent. If I see Uday Prabhu as a human being, I'll understand that he is a human being. I can connect with him. No? But if he comes as some fearful form, but he has a form that is very fearful behind, which he is not showing. Yeah? So Krishna says, I'm very thankful that Lord has appeared to me in this form that I can perceive him. I can see him. Otherwise, his form is Virat. So in second canto and second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and some part of third canto, Krishna's Virat Roop is mentioned. That all the lower planetary systems are his feet, and then thighs and arms and ears and hairs and nose, everything is mentioned, by Acharya, by Sudha Goswami in second canto. So that Krishna we are talking about. You are inside, the house and buildings and city and town and everything is within Krishna. So can I see Krishna? No. But I'm so thankful that Krishna who has Virat Rupa has come in a form that I can perceive. Okay. And why Krishna has come into that form? To give the pleasure Mahajana Jana Gato Sepanta to his pure devotee like Bhispitama. So Krishna takes a form. When Krishna was 16 years old man, like you and I, he can expand himself to be thousands yojana taller, thousands yojana, millions yojana wider. All he can do, but he is now shrunk down to the human form so that his devotee can connect. Mother Yasoda can say that this is my son. Come on. Who Krishna? I don't know Krishna. This is my son. Nanda Baba can say, this is my son. He's a cowherd man. He grazes the cows. So this is Krishna's, mercy that now he is limited to you and I as a human form. So Acharya says that one of the reason, all of these reasons are given by Krishna, which are powerful. But Acharya says one of the reasons that Lord personally comes is to deliver devotee, to save devotee. And where to see the examples? Look at the example of Prahlad Maharaj. Look at the example of Dhruv Maharaj. Every time Krishna, look at the example when he saved, uh, Gajendra Moksha. So like that, Krishna comes most of the time. When he comes with that, he fulfills other goals, no doubt about it. Okay. But the most important thing is that he comes in a way that living entity can perceive him. And then these two verses are extremely powerful. He says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam sovyati tatotah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamati sarjuna. Then he says that, but this thing is not known to people. Okay. When I come, the thing that is a human being, and I gave you some example that, some of the school of thought, they'll say that Krishna is a guru, and Arjuna is a living entity, and battlefield of Kurukshetra is a war, life challenge, day-to-day challenges. So in the life, day-to-day challenges, Guru is teaching to the living entity that how he should navigate. This is one example, right? Thousands of the other examples you will see. So that's what Krishna is saying, that this is Janma and Karma. Janma means his birth, his appearance, and Karma means his action, the action that he does. All of them are divyam, divine. It has nothing the Yog Maya potency. It's all managed and conducted by Yog Maya potency. Yom Yoveti Tattvataha, the one who knows this in truth. Tattvataha is very powerful word. You have to little bit know Sanskrit. Tattvataha, knowing element by element. Tattvataha, knowing in truth. The translation is very simple, knowing in truth, understanding something in truth. But if you know the word Tattvataha, you know that's something that you really very well understand, very nicely understand, very thoroughly, systematically understand. If you do that, then Krishna says, Naiti Mamati Arjuna, that person is free from the birth and death. But then how to know? How to know that you know Krishna? How to know that we have knew Krishna Tattvataha? Okay. So this is very important words. I'm telling you, these are not, simple verse, although we have heard and gone through it thousands times. He says, the person who knows me, tattvataha, will have this quality. Vitrag bhaya krodha man mayamam upasritah bhavo jnana tapasa uttamad bhavan agata. He will be free from the attachment, fear, and anger. So how to know that we are becoming devotee of Krishna? This thing. We have to be free from the fear, anger, and attachment, and fully absorb in Krishna consciousness and taking refuge in me. So unless and until we have fully absorbed ourselves, that's why Prabhupada uses the word Krishna consciousness, means fully absorb, always thinking about Krishna and never forgetting Krishna. So that's the symptom. Okay. This is very powerful verse. You should give class on this verse. How to know that we know Krishna? With rag bhaya krodha man maya mamupasrita. That's all. Free from the attachment, fear, and anger, and fully absorbed in Krishna. Okay. And then he says that many persons in the past have purified their life by doing this. Okay. So these two line is the goal. Vitrag bhaya krodha man maya mam upasrita. Always upasrita, upasrita. Asrita means to come. Shelter, taking shelter. Upasrita means coming very close, very close. Asrita, upasrita, come and be seated close to me. We say that, right? That way. Man, man maya, mam upasrita. Man maya. Their mind, maya here means me. So Krishna says that man maya, their mind is fully under me. Upasrita. The mind is, and Prabhupada translate here, that when the mind is taken refuge, taken shelter of Krishna. So if we are doing that, then that's how we know that we are trying to be Krishna conscious. Okay. So with that, I would like to give a pause and hear if there is any questions anybody has. Lakshmi, you didn't even talk. Are you there? Are you hearing? What are you doing?
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm here, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, I
Uncle.
asked you a question and you didn't say anything, so I thought that maybe you are working or something.
Actually, first 5 to 10 minutes I'm away, Prabhuji. Maybe you asked me that. I'm sorry for that,
Oh, you
Prabhuji.
are not here, right? Keep
Yeah,
camera on.
first some.
Keep camera on. I would like you to hear, Bhagavad Gita very nicely. Understand.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Uh, thank you so much. Anjan Prabhu, anything? Are you there or you left?
No, Prabhu, I am here. Actually, my father called me, so there is a technical glitch. So by mistake, I click leave. She's forgetting. I'm here, Prabhu.
Summarize, Prabhu, whatever we have discussed. Big task. Or do you have anything that you like to ask?
Um, no, Prabhu. Actually, I like the part. Most important one is that how to connect the soul and how we can talk with the soul. So I like the
Ah,
discussion.
chanting, chanting. We don't try to basically uh, nourish the twigs and branches and leaves. How we get the nourishment, Prabhu? Do you know, Prabhu? Anjan Prabhu? How we get the nourishment? What Shastra says? How to get the nourishment? For a tree, if the tree has to be nourished, should we
Water
nourish the
in the
where?
root,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what is the root for us?
chanting Harinam.
Yeah, but who is the root? Krishna.
Yep.
Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarokara Siddhyaya Lakshmi, okay? By serving Krishna, all other endeavors are done. We don't have to do the Pitriyagya, Matriyagya, we don't have to please demigod, we don't have to please this Baba, that Baba. This is the thing people have in their mind. श्रद्धा शब्द विश्वास कहे सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्णा भक्ति कैले सरोकार सिद्धि आया सुदृढ़ निश्चय firm conviction firm conviction with firm conviction that Krishna bhakti kaile by performing the devotional service of Krishna sarva siddhiyaya all the perfection that we expect. So mystic yoga, you know going to the forest place and doing this limb and that and this and that, not eating, not feeding this and that, everything. You tell me everything, anything, you know that we can achieve. All of that is achieved when you become pure devotee. In fact, you can become a perfect tantric, a perfect person who can do miracles, but you would not be still a devotee. Okay, but once you try to become devotee, you might be very simple, very fallen, might not have any quality seen by anybody. But if you have love for Krishna, that's the highest most position according to Shastra. You might not take some, you know, what do you call? You might not be able to do some miracle. Maybe somebody will give you the dust, you might not be able to turn into the gold. Once Prabhupada was asked, this is the last session and then I'll adjourn, that all these big, big people, they do miracles. What miracles you have done? Prabhupada said, see, he was pointing towards all of his Western devotee. All of these people were meat eater and they were walking naked on the streets and doing all sorts of things in the public. Now they're trying to be sage. They're trying to be saintly person. They're trying to be devotee, pure devotee, not only devotee, pure devotee, Supreme Lord. What big miracles can happen than this? Okay. So like that, we all were very fallen. We started our life in a very fallen condition. Meat eater, material desire, fighting, fear, attachment, detachment, this, all of that. But now we're trying to be devotee. And there could be multiple achievement that we could get. But the best achievement is that we become devotee of Lord. Always engage in Krishna's service. Always, 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 always. That's how we'll purify. Little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. It's not that suddenly purification comes. I'll talk, but I'm just giving. There is sadhana siddha, and then there is kripa siddha. Three type of bhakta. Okay, I'll give you a quiz. You all study nitya siddha, sadhana siddha, and kripa siddha. Okay, I'm giving these three terms. Next Sunday, Saturday, I will ask what is the meaning of these three terms. Nitya siddha, okay, sadhana siddha, and kripa siddha. These are the three terms. Nitya siddha, sadhana siddha, and kripa siddha. Three types of sadhaka. Okay, then we'll hear the definition. What is your understanding on these terms on next class? Thank you so much for your time. Sorry for changing the time, but we'll try to get some time where I don't have to up and down and sometimes not do the class and do the class. So we'll work on that. Maybe Sunday afternoon would be a time where 100% there is no chance of failing, because Saturday is very busy for me. And I'm sorry that sometimes we have to adjust the classes. I know that some devotees who could come, they're not here. So I'm sorry for them also. But thank you so much. Vanchkalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah anantakoti vaishnavin ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Hare Krishna. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Dandavad
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.